Good morning, everyone. I'm Gabello from the Diary Cities of Deaf People, and I'm here with my co-hosts Tina and Labo, and we are going to be interviewing Mrs. Helen Zille, who is the mayoral candidate for the Johannesburg municipality, and she's from the Democratic Alliance Party. Good morning, Mrs. Helen Zille. How are you?
Good morning, Cabello, and good morning, Nobulelo, and good morning, Tinama, and good morning to the sign language interpreter, to Vicky, and to my own colleague, Janine. Good morning to you all. Thank you. I can hear you clearly, and I'm very well this morning, and I hope you are too.
Thank you so much. We're all good. So, how is your campaign going, and how do you feel about the upcoming by-elections in Johannesburg?
Campaign is going well. We're working very hard. We are going to go to every ward in Johannesburg during this campaign, and we've been to at least half of them now. There are 135 wards in Johannesburg, so that's a lot of work to do. But we are receiving a good reception almost everywhere, which I'm very pleased about. And a lot of people are resonating with our campaign, are feeling very attracted to it, and are coming around with us. So I'm feeling good about the campaign.
Oh, thank you so much. And by about the by-elections,
Well, we don't have any more by-elections before the national election now. The season of by-elections is closed because at this time before a general election, then there are no more by-elections. So we've had some by-elections in previous months in Joburg that went very well for us. We got over 90% of the vote in the wards that we contested, but still not enough people actually came out to vote. And that is our problem. Of the people who bother to vote, of the people who come out to vote, we get a very high percentage of those to support the DA. But too many people stay at home and don't go out to vote at all. That's a problem.
oh, thank you so much for that. We've also heard about an introduction of a bill by the Democratic Alliance Party, and the bill is called the Performance Animal Protection Amendment Bill, um, which aims to protect people who are using the assistive animals like guide dogs for visually impaired people. And my first question regarding that bill is, how will your party, when that bill becomes a law, how will it ensure that the provisions of that bill will be enforced and implemented in a practical way to ensure that people who are going to be using guide dogs are going to have equal access to the facilities?
Yes, people who are using guide dogs have to be treated completely equally to everybody else. And they should not be excluded from anything that seeing people can get access to. Guide dogs are very well trained. They are assistive dogs. They're not performing dogs. And it is very important for access of blind people to ensure access for their dogs, who are their eyes in many circumstances. So we believe that that is necessary. And that law will only pass if we get enough support in the National Assembly, in Parliament. Now, as you know, the DA does not have a majority in Parliament. We got almost 22% of the vote, but that isn't enough to pass a bill. You need 50% to pass a bill. And so we have to pass it with the support of other parties. And if we get the support of other parties, it will become a criminal offense to discriminate against people who use dogs for sight purposes. So when you need a dog to guide you because you can't see. No one may discriminate against you or withhold access from you. And we will definitely apply that law with all the vigor that we've got, and anyone who breaks that law will be guilty of an offense.
Thank you so much for that critical insight. And upon that, so since we know that also the state has a duty to protect any harm against animals, how does the bill or does the bill have provisions which enforce consequences as to if those guide dogs are abused and the users are going to be held responsible?
I do want to tell you that I haven't got the bill in front of me now, and I don't want to talk about something that I haven't looked at for quite a while. Obviously, guide dogs have to be protected. I mean, just like people look after their eyes, so they must look after their dogs because those dogs perform the function of eyes and they are sentient beings. They are well trained. They love their owners. They're very loyal to their owners and they can expect the same from their owners.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. It really shows a huge legal order as to the constitutionality of the bill, and it aims also to protect people with visual impairment and any other kind of disability which might need the use of guide dogs. Thank you for that. I'm now gonna hand over to my co-host Tina.
Thank you so much, Cabello. Greetings to my fellow colleagues, greetings to Mrs. Zille, and greetings to everyone. My name is Tina Mamgudra. So, ma'am, without wasting much of your time today, my first question is that there are so many blind people, the deafs, and those living with other special needs. They do not have jobs. They depend on their disability grants. So my main question is that what plans do we have to create more opportunities for the blind, the deafs, and those living with other special needs in South Africa? Over to you.
Yes, that's a very important question. We first have to have a growing economy that can employ more people generally. There is a very rapidly growing economy in Cape Town and a lot of demand for tourism facilities. So, for example, on the old premises where DEFSA used to be in Cape Town, they have now built a lovely hotel in which the condition was that they would employ deaf people in that hotel. And that can only be done because there is a high demand for tourism facilities there in Cape Town. And there is a high demand for tourism facilities because everybody wants to come to Cape Town because it is well governed, it is clean, and things work there. And when there's good local government, there's more economic activity and more people can be employed. And I was very thrilled with the building of that hotel. And I've been to that hotel several times. I was there at the opening of it because I was very supportive of the plan to build a hotel and to employ deaf people at the hotel. And they are there in many different capacities. And they're doing very well and enjoying those jobs very much. My own sister is deaf, so I know a lot about that particular disability. He's completely blind. He works incredibly hard. He reads all of his documents in Braille. He attends all his meetings. He relies on someone to take him around his constituency, but he does all his work very diligently. He serves his residents, and he's completely blind. So we gave him an award, a big award at our Congress as one of the star performers of the year.
Thank you for so much for answering that question, ma'am. My second question would be, what do you think, or what plan do you have to ensure that people living with disability are not only just accommodated, but they are empowered and represented?
Well, I think that everybody who has a disability, either in the government that I ran or in the party, were fully integrated and fully empowered. So my PA had to run my office. And, I would fail in my job if she wasn't doing her job, but she did her job very, very well. And she had all the tools that she needed to assist her, all the technology that she needed to assist her to do her job properly. So the same with the blind colleague that I've just spoken about in Limpopo. We've just elected another blind man, Mhlakazi, his name is, and he is elected in Bloemfontein, in Mangaung, as they call it today. So we make sure that people have all the access they need and all the technology they need to perform their jobs and to be part of the team.
Thank you so much for applying to my questions, ma'am. There's no more further questions from my side. I'll be passing over to my colleague, Miss Nambulelo or Miss Lebo. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much indeed, Tinama. Hi there.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Tina. Ms. Zille, I just wanted to ask regarding your campaign of ensuring that all people that are living with disabilities, including the deaf and the blind, but specifically the youth, when you become mayor, what is your plan for them?
Now, I've made a commitment. Okay.
Yes, you may
Okay.
continue, ma'am.
Okay. Johannesburg is very broken. And there are many, many businesses that are leaving Johannesburg. We are losing jobs in Johannesburg because things don't work. There are power interruptions. And now Eskom has said that Eskom is going to cut Joburg's power because Joburg owes Eskom more than 5 billion rand. Joburg's water system is breaking down completely. Joburg's roads are terrible. There are potholes everywhere. Community safety is almost non-existent. The place is filthy. And so, because of all of that, businesses are moving out of Joburg. And when businesses move away, the number of jobs overall falls. And as the number of jobs decreases, there are fewer opportunities for everyone, and that includes people with disabilities. So opportunities fail for everyone when the city does not work. I have a slogan that says, when cities work, people work. And that obviously includes people with disabilities. Now, currently at the moment, about 4,000 workers in a part of Joburg called Selby are losing their jobs because the factories there haven't had water for 10 months. In another part of Joburg near Bertram's, the factories are standing completely empty. They've all gone somewhere else. And so jobs are falling. In the 5 years between 2021 and this year, 2026, Joburg lost about 140,000 jobs. That is a terrible figure. Cape Town gained 400,000 jobs. because people are coming to Cape Town and starting their businesses there. Or they're moving to Midvaal, which is next to Joburg, which is governed by the DA. And things work there, so people are moving there. So you can see, good government brings more jobs. And more jobs overall means more job opportunities for people with disabilities and more inclusion for people with disabilities. So my job as the mayor is to fix the basic services, to fix water, to fix electricity, to fix the roads, to fix the rubbish removal, to fix the mess all over the city, to fix the sewage. And when all of those things are working, the economy can grow and more jobs can be created. That's how it works. So my job is to do the basics right in order that more jobs can be created for all Joburg citizens.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I will now hand over to my colleague, Nombulelo.
I see Nombulelo, she's replying to you now.
I can't see her.
Okay, she's spotlighted now.
Perfect, perfect. We can continue. We can continue. We can continue. Okay, thank you very much. That also part of this discussion. I just want to know, to Gogo Helen, regarding the DA. You know, I have seen you swimming in potholes. Yes, which I find very funny, by the way. Yes. And I just wanted to let you know that I respect you very much. You know, I honor the work that I've seen you do thus far. A big thank you for that. Now, in South Africa, remember sign language has been recognized as the 12th official language. But it looks like nothing much has been done since then. It's not only in the deaf community, but in the blind and disability community as well. There's still, you know, there isn't equality or inclusion. Like the issue of jobs, people are just staying at home. Even interpreters are not sufficient, they're not enough. So like, for example, in hospitals, clinics, or the justice system, there isn't no sign language interpreters, like nothing at all. The problem still continues. So I just wanted to ask, now that the upcoming elections in November, how are you planning to fix that? Do you have any plan for that? I just want to know, especially now that you know sign language has been made the official language, but I'm also speaking for other disabled youth. Is there anything that's going to be done? If you can just tell me how you're planning to solve that problem.
Thank you very much, Nombulelo. And I agree that there should be sign language interpreters at all public institutions that serve people. However, we are a very long way from achieving that. And I have to be 100% honest, I will never lie. I was one of the people who fought very hard for sign language to be one of our official languages. And at the Worcester School for the Deaf, children do matric in sign language, and it's also been introduced in many other schools as an additional language. So the first thing we have to do is resolve the supply side, which means we have to get enough people. Ideally, all public institutions that interact with members of the public should have sign language interpretation, because that is what an official language would require. Now, I know that sign language, and I fought very hard for this too, is recognized as an official language, and you can do matric in sign language as a subject. And the more people do that, the more we will solve the supply side, so that there are enough qualified people to do that job properly, because sign language is a very sophisticated language. There's also a lot of technology solutions that I think are going to be very important. For example, solutions that actually can translate what people are saying into texts, obviously, but the solution is not there yet, where people can respond in sign language and have it translated into text as well. But I'm sure that technology will one day come, where a person doing sign language could have their speech translated into text. And we must watch very closely for those kinds of developments. We also know that many of those institutions are collapsing because of lack of funds and because of corruption and because of how much money has been stolen. So funding always remains a problem. I know it is not fair on the individual to require them to bring a sign language interpreter when they come to a clinic or another public institution like Home Affairs, and ideally we should correct that problem on the service side. It is going to take a while to get there. The supply side must be fixed. A lot of people must be trained in doing sign language properly. And then we need to ensure that when money is looked after properly and worked with properly, the technology and the people required can be put into place.